Oh, I had to restart my stream. Oh shit. Okay, we'll just do it again. Why is my YouTube playing Dr. Seuss? Okay, so oh man, I totally got cut off from my chain of thought because I had to restart my stream. Hello everyone. It's your internet friend, your Choom. Choom. So, beginning today, starting today, I want to embark on a journey that involves flying. It's something that I've been wanting to do for quite some time, but I never really had the excuse or the opportunity to do so until now. And that is learning how to fly using Microsoft Flight Simulator with a very simple joystick. So I got Microsoft Flight Simulator installed. I got my Logitech 3D Pro set up. Well, not set up. I'm trying to set it up because I just got the joystick like 30 minutes ago. But here's the thing. I know nothing about how to fly a plane. I have never flown a plane. Of course, I've never flown a plane. I never really learned how to fly, even in virtual video games. I know nothing about flying. I don't know how planes fly. I know it has to do with aerodynamic lift, but that's literally it. What is aerodynamic lift? How does it make things fly? How does it work? What are the characteristics of aerodynamics that I need to understand in order to be a somewhat proficient pilot? My goal right now is to go through Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 so that I can take off, fly, and land using the more advanced settings, right? So being able to understand how to set up the planes, how to configure the planes, learn about the correct procedures as much as I can, and using all of that to first, like, let's say, be able to take off, fly, and land, plan flights as well. And then once I got some of that down, I'm gonna choose a plane to learn, and I'm gonna use it to do something similar to a world flight challenge, like going around the world in 80 days. But it doesn't have to be literally 80 days. I think depending on what kind of plane you choose, you can go around the world in, I think, less than 2 days. I'm pretty sure, because if you use like an Airbus A320, and based on my real life experience of riding on an A320 as a passenger, you can go halfway around the world in like 13 hours or 14 hours, at least from the United States to South Korea, which is a flight that I've done multiple times. So I'll maybe choose a slower plane and use that as a way to go around the world and see the sights and all of that stuff once I learn how to fly. Let's get started. I was working on trying to set up my joystick. So the first thing with any flight simulator, so this is really my first foray into flight simulating. I got my joystick, which is the Logitech 3D X3D Extreme 3D Pro, which is funny because why is there a Pro version when there isn't a normal version? Strange. However, I just unboxed it. I took it out, plugged in the USB to my PC. And the thing is supposed to install a driver, which I think it did. But it's also supposed to show up in my Logitech Gaming Hub. I already have Logitech G Hub installed because of my microphone, which is a Blue Yeti mic. But I don't see the joystick popping up. Like, where is the device? Okay. Your connected devices are in the center of the home page that you can... Okay, there's no connected device except for my microphone. So I guess the device isn't supported because it's an older model? Question mark? Driver. Maybe I should just install the driver for it. Compatibility. Support. View all downloads. There are no downloads for this version. What the fuck? Okay, so there's nothing to really tweak. I think. Then how do you control your dead zones? Oh god, it's gonna be like this, isn't it? I will have to understand how this works. Okay, so there are no drivers for... No. What do you mean? Logitech Gaming Software. But this is Logitech Gaming Software. Well, fuck it. That's not important. Okay. Apparently, you don't really get a software from Logitech with the X3D Pro. So I'm just gonna turn on Microsoft Flight Simulator and see if this even works. The game actually does run. I tested it last night. What I mean is, how well does it like assign all the buttons and the joystick, like all the stuff on the joystick, into the game's controls? Let's see. Flight Simulator. So how am I going to reposition all my stuff on my desk? I don't know if I should put the joystick on top of the mouse pad, because I don't want my mouse pad to get like indents on them. Oh, I will also have to like literally download manuals and look up all the related documentation or guides or books on how to fly a plane, really. Everything related to it. Okay, my game didn't crash, which is a good sign. I tested this without OBS. The game ran fine without it. But now I just gotta see. We're going to controls. Is this like the default for every plane? Over here. Eh? Oh, okay. Good. I'll turn up the in-game soundtrack.
You seem comfortable out there. I'm sure you'll get your PPL in no time.
Okay.
There's a laptop in the office that shows all...
Yeah, this is like the most basic progression system. I think it's mainly for head to certification to pass your PPL exam.
Here you can see all the different certifications you can pass throughout your career. Your first step is to work towards your private pilot license.
Okay. Let me see. Yeah, luckily the game has AMD FSR 3 frame gen, which is really nice. So even if I get lower frames, I can basically create fake frames. Okay. Sound. Music.
All the training lessons you'll need to pass the PPL exam are available here. Make sure you're comfortable with these before taking the exam.
I think it went to exam because I was doing it with my mouse and keyboard. Just to see if the game would run well. Like, when I say that I don't know anything about flight simulators or flying, I literally mean I don't know anything about it. So let's see.
Welcome to Sedona. I'm Captain Jess Molina.
Hello.
And I'll be your instructor. For this lesson, we're going to start on the ground and focus on some basic concepts. Fundamentals every pilot needs to know before hitting the skies. This is your plane, a classic, the Cessna 172. Take a look around it.
Okay, I'm moving my joystick around. There's a bit of wiggle in my, I think, the rudder controls. So I might have to create a dead zone where there's no wriggle. Okay.
In the simulator, anytime you want, you can easily switch to cursor mode. Now try to find and open the camera panel in the toolbar.
Oh god. This is from the joystick, like there's a little joystick on the actual joystick itself. And it's currently set to a specific viewpoint. Okay.
The camera panel allows you to access the various views and camera modes of the simulation. Go ahead and close all the panels for now. Right now, we are in the external view mode. Let's switch to cockpit view next.
So we go here, cockpit.
In front of you is the yoke, the primary means of controlling the aircraft. In the simulation, you will be controlling the aircraft with your peripherals of choice. So, let's hide the yoke for now. Alright,
Okay.
as we've seen, when you want to look around you, it's easy to rotate the camera. But you can also move it freely in the cockpit to get a better view of anything you want to see. Even through a window to look outside.
Is there a way to control the dead zones on a joystick in-game? Let's see, if we go into controls. Oh shit, there is. So, what is it the slider? The Z-axis. Yeah, you can see. So I'm not really feeling resistance here. This is just like freely wiggling. Like there's almost no resistance, which means that if I'm flying around, this is gonna be wiggling my plane around. So let me try to create a dead zone. What the fuck is this? Yeah, put it there. By the way, this is probably why people say get a decent joystick if you're even half serious about using a like flying. It's because of hardware issues like this. Flight sticks are expensive for a reason, I guess. But for now, this is fine as long as the wiggle itself doesn't affect my flying. A little bit more. Okay. Where am I going to put all my stuff? So right now my mouse is right next to my joystick on my mouse pad. But I'm thinking if I should just move my mouse completely to where my keyboard usually is, on my left, and use my left hand to control the mouse. Also the keyboard.
Let's get you familiar with the aircraft, a Cessna 172, and a few commands to navigate it through the skies. In front of you is the yoke. The yoke is like a steering wheel, more or less. Turn it left or right to control the ailerons and bank the aircraft into turns. Look at the trailing edge of the wings while turning the yoke to see the effect on the ailerons.
Oh god. Wait, hold on.
Okay. Now, the difference between a yoke and a steering wheel is you can pull or push on the yoke.
Okay, I see. I am now in the beginning phase of flight sims where you have to mess around with the settings to set it up so that it fits your joystick. When I turn the yoke to the left, I think my stick has more room to move than the game itself. So this is the x-axis. I'm only at about... Okay, so when I'm at the end here, I got like... 10% more movement on my joystick. So I could either... Wait. No, that's worse. How do you do this? What is this? I don't see much of a difference. Is this sensitivity? That just seems like a curve. What does this do? No, this is just a curve. It's neutral. It's not a dead zone. So the reason why I'm trying to change this is When we look
This
at
controls the elevator at the back of the aircraft to make it climb or descend. Look
external,
at the horizontal stabilizer while you pull on the yoke. You can see how it affects the elevator.
Okay, I'm pulling.
Nice.
Okay, that seems fine.
Down at your
Pulling
feet
back
are
seems
the rudder
fine.
pedals. They
Well, like,
steer the
when I turn
aircraft when you're on
left-
the ground. The upper part of the pedals also control your brakes. In the air, they control the rudder at the end of the vertical stabilizer.
Well, I guess
to yaw
it's
the
not that
aircraft.
bad.
This is mostly for small corrections. For coordinating turns or compensating
Why does
for
it do
plane's
that, though?
tendency to pull left during takeoffs
The
and
handle
climbs.
itself
Look at the vertical
it's
tail
kinda like
while operating the pedals
yeets
to see the
itself at
effect
the
on
end.
the rudder.
Okay. Just follow the thingy. Okay, so the wiggle doesn't affect the yoke, the rudder now, which is good.
Great. Last but not least, the throttle is located near the center of the cockpit. Pushing forward will increase power, pulling back will decrease power. First, look at the throttle and select it.
Okay. I gotta figure out how to easily look at stuff. Okay, he wants me to do it manually.
Keep it selected and push it forward to increase power. Power is increased. Now pull it back to decrease power. Power is decreased. Now we'll do the same without focusing on it. Deselect the throttle. Look away from the throttle and increase power.
Look away from the throttle.
Set your throttle to idle. Excellent.
Okay.
When the engine is on, you'll be able to see the power change on your RPM indicator. You'll find it on your PFD screen in the top left corner.
Maybe I should try these keybinds. Shift J. Oh. Oh. Nope, never mind. I'll just use my mouse.
This tells you how fast the engine is spinning in hundreds of revolutions per minute. Next, take a look at your current speed on the airspeed indicator. It's on the left on your PFD screen. It measures the speed in knots. To check your altitude, look to the altimeter. It's on the right on your PFD screen. Not all aircraft have integrated screens with all this information. A lot of them rely on analog instruments. You can find the analog versions of the airspeed indicator and the altimeter just above the throttle. They are respectively on the left and right. The analog altimeter has 3 hands similar to a clock. The long, thick pointer indicates 100-foot intervals. The short, thick one is 1,000-foot intervals. And the long, thin one counts 10,000-foot intervals.
Okay.
That's all for today. Next time, we'll see how it feels in the air.
Oh god. Attitude.
To help demonstrate pitch, I've drawn 3 lines on the windshield. Notice how the middle line matches the horizon while we're flying level? This is the cruise attitude. The lower dotted line is the climb attitude, and the upper one is the descent attitude. Let's dig deeper into what that means. Pull back gently on the yoke until the climb attitude line matches the horizon. Then maintain that attitude.
Okay, there's a little bit of wiggle for the y-axis. So let me try and get rid of that. Okay, I think I know how to do this now, which is Y. Yeah, so there's a bit of a dead zone here. I want to create a dead zone. Like here. Maybe I can decrease my sensitivity to be a bit more smoother. Let's match it.
But we're losing airspeed, proving you can't avoid basic physics while making a climb.
Let's increase the throttle.
Excellent. That's good. Keep working on it, you'll get better. Now, let's level back out. Our speed is increasing and our altitude is stable. Alright. That's good. That's okay. Push gently on the yoke until the descent attitude line matches the horizon. Then maintain that attitude. As expected, with a nose-down attitude, our altitude is decreasing while our speed is picking up. Great. That's good. Keep working on it, you'll get better. Okay, bring us back to level flight. Now your speed is decreasing and your altitude is stable.
Okay, what I'm realizing is this is a bit too sensitive, so maybe linear curves aren't that great. So I'm going to also decrease this to maybe about like 4. Why don't I get rid of the dead zones just a little bit and instead decrease the sensitivity? A little bit. If I match it,
That's good. That's okay. That was excellent. Being able to maintain a precise and stable attitude is key to performing all types of maneuvers.
I guess a curve is not as bad. I wonder what's the best way to set up your joystick using those curves. Because I do have a little bit of drift in basically all of my inputs for X, Y, and Z axis. So in that case, is it better to increase your dead zone, or is it better to have a dead zone plus a curve so that when there is drift, it's very minor?
I've also added another dotted line to help you bank properly for left turns. Gently move the yoke to the left until the dotted line matches up with the horizon. Then maintain that bank.
Maintaining bank.
That's good. Watch your altitude. It wasn't constant during the turn. Now, let's see you level back out.
Okay.
Alright.
Maybe the basic idea is when I don't have my hand on the joystick, it should be 0 for all inputs.
You can see a series of notches representing 10-degree increments on the attitude indicator part of your PFD. As a general rule, you always want to keep your turns under 30 degrees. Start banking right until you're lined up with the second notch to the right on the attitude indicator. Then, maintain that 20-degree bank while remaining at the same altitude until I ask you to stop.
Okay. Can barely see the line. Losing altitude.
Nice. Level us back out now. That's good. Remember to maintain altitude while leveling off. Wow, great job.
This game goes hard on positive reinforcements, huh? Yeah, I'll just keep my flight stick on my mouse pad for now. Well, I guess I shouldn't, because it's really hard for me to control my throttle. Because it's on the joystick itself. It's at the base of the joystick itself. So the joystick should kind of be in the middle, where I can use both my hands.
If you have the need for speed, then the throttle's for you. Full control over the power output of the engine. In the Cessna 172, that relates directly to the RPM displayed on the tachometer on the PFD. Pull back on the throttle to reduce RPM to 1800.
Pulling back.
Look how your speed and altitude are also decreasing. Excellent. Okay, let's throttle back up to 2,400 RPM. Your speed is increasing now. As long as you maintain the same attitude, your altitude will keep climbing as well. Nice.
I can't tell if that's because of the wind or my joystick. Like the plane isn't completely even on when it's flying. Yeah, I think this needs a little bit of a dead zone. I mean, this is a really big dead zone because of the way... Is this how I'm supposed to do this? So the wiggle is fixed. X axis, Y.
That was excellent.
Maybe it was the wind.
With piston planes like this Cessna, it's common to have power targets defined in RPM.
Okay. Maneuver test. Elevators, ailerons, and rudder.
Now it's time to test the skills you've learned. As you can see, we're cruising at 6,000 feet on a north heading of 360 degrees. Start by descending to 5,500 feet while maintaining a northerly heading.
Descending.
While descending, reduce throttle to avoid overspeed. If your speed is in the yellow section of the airspeed indicator, it means you are overspeeding. Reduce throttle to idle and pull gently on the yoke to slow down.
Almost to
While
5,500.
descending, reduce throttle to avoid overspeed. Right. Now, climb to 6,000 feet and turn to a south heading. On the Cessna 172, you need full power to climb effectively.
Okay, going 180. I don't have a lot of airspeed. To 6,000. Oh, there's a little pink line next to the altimeter that shows you where the expected altitude is going to be. That's pretty cool.
The term is good, but try to climb faster in the future.
Okay.
All right, next exercise. Maintain your heading of 180 degrees, stay at 6,000 feet, and adjust your airspeed to 80 knots.
I start my day.
Holding 80 knots. Okay. We'll need to climb up a little bit.
Where's my notebook? My dreams, write them down. Write down your dreams. Write down your dreams. Don't forget to write down your dreams. More silence. More silence. And now, it's time to go.
Made it to 6,000 feet. Holding at 180. And I need to hold. Okay, I'm going too fast.
Belongings in my clothes, my garments, my gloves, my socks, my heels, and I put them together in a way
Losing altitude now. Okay, let's.
with my appearance. The silence starts to break. I start to sing to myself and gauge how I feel. I put my clothes on. And still, more silence, more silence. Where's my water? Drink plenty of water. Be fluid, be one with water, be one with air.
Review straight and level flight to better manage your speed and altitude.
Adventure. For the purpose of
You did well,
music,
but you can do better.
sound to
God
grow
damn it.
within my belly. I am ready to start my day. I let my vocals carry me to the next moment.
Damn. Pre-flight training. Okay.
Today, we're going to go over all the steps that precede turning on your engine. Those steps are essential to ensure your aircraft's integrity and that everything is in order for a smooth and seamless flight. First of all, stretch your legs a bit and take a look at your aircraft and your surroundings. We never took much time to look at our aircraft from the outside, so take your time if you want to inspect it. You might have noticed some extra bits on your aircraft. These are the covers and chocks. Covers are installed when the plane is not in use and are meant to avoid damaging its sensitive parts. Chocks are there to immobilize the aircraft. You'll need to remove them before takeoff. And we're done for the outside. Now that we're sure your aircraft is functional and ready to taxi, let's check the inside.
Shift C.
Let's get to the matter
Okay.
at hand. You've been given an EFB, also referred to as an electronic flight bag. It's a tablet that stores critical flight information and is the ideal tool to prepare your flight plans and enhance your piloting experience. Open it and take a look. Feel free to follow a quick guided tour of its features.
Let's tab.
The EFB features an interactive map, a flight plan editor, aircraft and current flight information, a nav log, as well as fuel and payload options. The EFB has plenty to offer, but if you want to get directly into the action, you can turn it off after you finish the quick tour.
Good tour. Flight Planner app. Here you can plan your next flight, check your navigation map, check airport information and charts. Aircraft app. Here you can check your flight performances, use checklists, and have access to your aircraft documents. Pilot book app. Here you can view some of your flight statistics and access your logbook. Settings. You can manage your preferences and parameters for the EFB. More apps. From here you will access and manage all of your EFB applications. Okay. Close the EFB.
It seems like we're all clear on the checklist. Now start this pretty bird up.
Start the engine or the checklist. Let's just do... Oop. Oop. Okay. Control E.
Now that we've covered all the preparations, let's get to the good stuff, shall we?
I will definitely need to learn how to use the electronic flight book in detail. Because I don't want to learn just how to like do the basic... I don't want to learn only about like basic flight joystick controls, but also about like planning too and understanding what to do, understanding the terminologies, understanding what each of those things do. But I don't think right now the game is going to tell me that. So taxiing. Resource usage exceeds GPU memory capacity. Whoops. I think that means I need to downgrade some of my graphical settings. Most of them are on low. I will actually keep on... No, I'll turn it off because DLSS is on. Put these down to medium. Clouds are on high because that's what we're going to be staring at most of the time. I think limiting my game to 60 FPS might be a good idea. I have no idea what my frames are right now. Frame rate limit.
I can tell we need to talk about things, so I'll let you start. Yes, I'm listening. Oh, I understand that.
I know. Let's see if that helps a little bit.
Oh, that's crazy.
Taxiing refers to moving the aircraft on the ground under its own power.
We talked about this. I felt like I was
Steering on the ground is managed through the rudder pedals.
everything that you needed to hear.
That's right, unlike driving a car. We turn by using our feet.
Understand what you're asking for. Because the only
Okay,
thing
ready?
I can't
With the throttle idle, release your parking brake.
It's a very energetic song, so I'll turn down the volume a little bit. Parking brake.
Next time, make sure your throttle is at idle before releasing
Jesus.
the parking brake. Now, gently increase throttle to get the aircraft moving. Unfortunately, one of your wheels crossed out of the taxiway. Now, gently increase throttle to get the aircraft moving.
What else could I do?
Go easy on your throttle.
What else can I
Use your rudder pedal to turn left and enter the taxiway.
say? What else do you
Increase throttle to gain forward momentum and then reduce RPM accordingly to match a fast walking speed while taxiing.
This seems good. I think I can use the computer screen to kind of gauge
and over again?
how centered I am.
Why should I repeat myself? Why should I repeat myself? Why should I repeat myself? Why should I repeat myself?
Now, test the brakes.
What are my brakes? What? Oh.
Good. Brakes
Oh,
checked.
yeah. It's bound to one of my buttons on the
Taxi
joystick.
to the next exit, then come to a stop. Remember to control your speed with throttle and brakes.
Oh shit,
See
the brakes are
crossing
still
in
on.
front of us. Stop before it, as if traffic was coming off the runway.
Okay, it's button number 10. And it's a toggle, so I don't have to keep holding it.
You can shake it anyway. Well, you can shake it anyway.
I'm supposed to stop here.
All
Okay.
right, taxi to holding point Alpha 1 next. It's at the far end of the airport, near the head of runway 21. Stay as
Yeah, I'm
close
gonna
as
have to
possible
move
the
my
taxiway
shit.
center, marked by the yellow line, and watch your speed.
Now that I'm messing around with the throttle a lot more, I need this more centered. I need my mouse pad to be on the other side. Let me move shit around. Where does my mic go? Okay, I think this kind of works. Okay, my mic cannot be blocking my iPad because my iPad's the one that has the Vtube Studio face tracking on it. Okay, just turn off the brakes. This is pretty cool. Okay. Taxi to holding point A1 while sticking to the center of the taxiway. Huh?
All right, taxi to holding point Alpha 1 next.
Was I not supposed to
Near the head
turn
of runway
right?
21. Stay as close as possible to the taxiway center, marked by the yellow line, and watch your speed.
Okay. I just noticed the UI at the bottom left and right, which gives me the number. I was looking at the screen the entire time. So I don't think I was supposed to turn here. I'll just keep on going. So why is the trigger on my joystick looking at the right side or something?
After the right turn, come to a stop before the hold short point, in prep for takeoff. Watch your speed. That was good taxiing.
Okay.
The next challenge will be to keep the aircraft under control while at full throttle for takeoff.
Takeoff. Wow.
There's an old saying I like. A mile of road will take you a mile. A mile of runway will take you anywhere. Taking off isn't hard, but there are a few key points to remember. First, we always take off into the wind, which won't be an issue on a calm day like today. Second, before we enter a runway, we always make sure it's clear. Check to the right to see if a vehicle is on the runway. And to the left, to make sure no other planes are approaching. Runway numbers are not arbitrary. Each number matches the first two numbers of the runway's compass bearing, rounded to the nearest 10 degrees. For example, a runway orientated towards the north would be numbered 36, which is 360 degrees on a compass.
I remember you watching like a YouTube video on
Everything
this.
looks good. No cross traffic. Go ahead and taxi into position. Now slowly taxi onto the runway and align the plane with the center line. Then stop your plane just after the number 21.
Make prolific confessions into the master plan. I feel like they will never let me shine. What do you need to say that feels so grand? Why is yours so much better than mine? I gotta wait in line for you to feel me. I got to hold my time for your healing. I got to take a back seat. Are you kidding? I got to grab my chance 'cause it's fleeting. 'Cause this just
Not bad. All right, let's do this. Apply full power, and I'll walk you through the takeoff as we go.
Brakes are off. Full throttle.
Use your rudder to stay on the center line, and keep pushing power until you reach 55 knots.
Uh-oh. Hold on. 내려봐.
burning me.
Look. I think I didn't mute myself properly. You might have heard me receive a call from my mother. Everything's fine, just scheduling stuff. Uh-oh. Okay, we are approaching 55, we're 40, 55, 55. Gently pull back.
Pull back on the yoke to take, and we're airborne. Line at the top of your instrument panel, so it's a couple of inches above the horizon. That'll pitch us up and set a good climb attitude. Maintain 75 knots, and we'll reach our target altitude of 5,500 feet in no time.
5,500 feet, okay.
Focus on flying straight. Use your rudders to remove the left yaw plane has when climbing. You can see your current yaw input by looking at the MFD slip skid indicator.
Okay, we need a bit more speed.
Maintain 75 knots and climb to 5,500 feet. Okay, 5,500 feet. You've reached your target altitude. That was a nice takeoff.
Okay. We took off. Resize that a little bit. Okay. I'm a little bit worried about this GPU warning. So why don't we do go to rendering? What's a good way to reduce setting, like reduce the high impact settings? Let's turn this down to medium. Filtering to 4. Let's try that. Yoke management.
We're close enough to the runway to land safely without adding any throttle. Maintain a speed of around 65 knots. Pitch down if you're going too slow. Pitch up if you're too fast. Keep your airspeed at 65 knots. When you're 10 feet above the runway, it's time to flare. To flare means to raise the nose of the aircraft to slow your descent for a softer landing, but without ever leveling off or climbing. The main landing gear will touch down before the nose wheel does.
Maintain. Okay. Maintaining 65, just a little bit more. Align with runway. Oh shit. Uh-oh.
We're coming up on flare height. Resist the temptation to pull back.
Bro, I'm trying to dive into it.
Now,
Uh-oh.
focus on the end of the runway and pull back slightly on the yoke to aim the nose just above it.
Ah.
Nice. Now, apply the brakes progressively to slow us down and bring the plane to a stop. Use rudder pedals to stay on the center line.
How the fuck did that work?
Well done. But there's room for improvement.
No shit. Wait, let me do that again.
For this landing exercise, I want you to focus on the yoke only. We're close enough to the runway to land safely without adding any throttle. Maintain a speed of around 65 knots. Pitch down if you're going too slow. Pitch up if you're too fast.
Okay, that's a
Keep your
bit of a
airspeed
bait
at 65 knots.
because
When you're
I
10
do need
feet
to
above the
align
runway,
myself and
it's time to flare.
decrease my altitude.
To flare means to raise the nose of the aircraft to slow your descent for a softer landing, but without ever leveling off or climbing. The main landing gear will touch down before the nose will
My
test.
throttle is at 0. But I'm still over the 65 knot speed recommendation. I'm still at 69. Nice. Okay, let's pull
We're
back
coming
up
up
a
on
little bit.
flare height. Resist the temptation to pull back. Now, focus on the end of the runway and pull back slightly on the yoke to aim the nose just above it.
I mean,
Nice.
I touched down.
Now, apply the brakes progressively to slow us down and bring the plane to a stop. Use rudder pedals to stay on the center line. Well done. But there's room for improvement.
Yeah, I landed too
Keep
early,
in
I
mind
think.
that approaching the runway at the right speed is key to a good landing.
Throttle management.
In the first part of this landing exercise, I want you to stay on the glide path by using the throttle. You can make small corrections with the yoke to stay aligned with the runway. Smooth action on the throttle is key for remaining on the correct glide path. If you find yourself too high, reduce your power. If you're too low, increase it. Remember though, always make soft corrections. You don't want to overcompensate.
That goes against my entire
use the
life
elevator to
philosophy. Align with runway. Where is the runway? Oh. I think I'm sort of aligned. What am I supposed to do here? It only said align with the runway.
500.
Am I supposed to land? Uh-oh.
Now, focus on the end of the runway and pull back slightly on the yoke to aim the nose just above it.
Whoops. Whoopsie. Man, it feels like the
In the first part of this landing
stick
exercise, I want you to stay on the glide
is
path by using the throttle.
is very sensitive.
You can make small corrections with the yoke to stay aligned with the runway. Smooth action on the throttle is key for remaining on the correct glide path. If you find yourself too high, reduce your power. If you're too low, increase it. Remember though, always make soft corrections. You don't want to overcompensate. Now you can use the elevator to land.
I'm at 69 knots. Nice. Let's reduce throttle. Yeah, I'm trying to move as softly and delicately as I can with my joystick. I think the angle is a bit too high, but I'll start pulling up. I'm also a bit too fast, so I'm gonna throttle down. I'm gonna start leveling out.
Reduce throttle to idle.
Okay, it's idle. Slightly
now,
off
focus on the end of the
center.
runway and pull back slightly on the yoke to aim the nose just above it.
Yeah, I don't think I'm pulling up enough at the end.
Nice. Now apply the brakes to slow us down and bring the plane to a stop.
I might have to reduce the sensitivity even more.
That was excellent.
Because there's a part of the joystick that starts having resistance, like built-in mechanical resistance, and the moment I engage the part where there is resistance, the plane reacts very abruptly, I guess. So if we go into hardware settings, it's not the not a neutral. So I'm assuming that this makes it more extreme. So it reaches the maximum, let's say X, the left. So I'm pushing my joystick left. I'm assuming this reaches the maximum aileron before I reach the end of my joystick. This should be 0 should be 1-to-1, although it's kind of not. This should be less, right? So there's less turning overall, even though I'm at the end of my joystick. So why don't I per display? Maybe instead of having a bigger curve, I do something like this, where even when I'm at the end of my joystick, the input itself isn't as big. Or maybe let me do dead zone 2. Dead zone 4, Z-axis. I would like this to be a little bit flatter. Maybe that's not a good idea. Maybe I should increase it. And just have a bit of a dead zone, like extremity dead zone. Because I don't think I'll ever be like maxing out my inputs in any way. Otherwise my plane will like jerk around so much that it might like stall. Oop. Let's try this. Landing. How come we learn about landing on the third try?
My first instructor used to say, the best part of flying is landing in one piece.
I'm a little bit
Today,
too slow.
you're in charge of bringing us in for a safe landing. And I've already set us up in landing configuration at 65 knots with 20 degrees of flaps. Keep your aim point on the runway threshold. When you're 10 feet above the runway, it's time to flare.
10 feet? I'm still going too fast. Okay, speed is decreasing as I'm going down. Let's keep it that way. Maybe I should slow down. Okay, I'm at 0 thrust. 0 throttle, but I'm still speeding up. So maybe I'm going in too hard. Okay. Yep. I'm trying to maintain 65. And I'm mainly doing it by the angle. Okay, let me speed up a little bit. I was a little bit too slow.
Reduce throttle to idle. Now, focus on the end of the runway and pull back slightly on the yoke to aim the nose just above it.
I was moving a little bit to the
Nice.
right side
Now,
before I
apply the
landed.
brakes progressively to slow us down and bring the plane to a stop. Use rudder pedals to stay on the center line. That was excellent.
Jesus. Downwind. Is that when wind is behind me or in front of me?
Okay, we're currently flying on the downwind leg at the standard traffic pattern altitude of 6,000 feet. It's a flight path parallel to the landing runway, but in the opposite direction. In downwind, you want to start preparing for landing. That means setting your speed and flaps configuration. We are passing the end of the runway, so go ahead and reduce RPM to 1700. It will help you to slow you down to 80 knots and begin your descent. The flaps provide extra lift at the expense of additional drag. This extra lift allows flying at a lower airspeed.
Extra
Flaps
lift,
allow for smoother and shorter landings.
more drag. Okay.
Go ahead and extend 10 degrees of flaps, all while maintaining current speed.
Where is flaps? What the? What the? Increase flaps. Joystick button 9. Decrease flaps 7. Oh, okay.
We will turn to the base leg when the end of the runway is at a 45-degree angle behind us.
Maintain 80 knots. I don't think I should be losing my altitude right now, right? I'm way too
Turn
slow.
left onto the base leg. Try to keep our speed around 75 knots. Keep an eye on the runway as we get ready for our final turn. Turn left onto final. Make your left turn onto final.
Okay, so we did like a U-turn.
Keep a stabilized approach with 65 knots airspeed and prepare for landing. Use
Stabilized
throttle and
to
flaps as required to
65.
adjust the glide slope.
Okay, the flaps run around in 10-degree increments, okay? Still a bit too fast. This time I won't go preemptively, like I think I was landing too early. I'll wait until I'm 65. Yeah, I should be around 65. Okay, I think I'll decrease my throttle now. Increase flaps. Okay. So more lift, more drag. Brakes. Do I increase flaps? That felt smoother, I think.
That was a perfect traffic pattern execution.
So you
Well
gotta go
done.
in a U-turn, huh? First solo flight. Oh god.
It's time. Your first solo flight. I'll be watching from the ground, in radio contact if you need me, but something tells me you won't. Your goal is to complete Sedona's left-hand traffic pattern on your own.
Sedona's
Remember
left-hand
everything
traffic
we covered
pattern.
in our previous sessions, and you'll be just fine. Good luck. See you on the other side.
Let's take off. So full throttle. Flaps are at 10%. Just focus on centering the plane on the runway until 55 knots, and then we slowly pull the yoke back. 55 knots, slowly pull it back. It will do about maintain 75 knots. Full throttle. About to reach 55. We're a bit slow. Do I turn off flaps? Am I fast enough to not need the lift? Turn left. Okay, I am at Okay. Going a bit too fast. I'm... Okay. Crosswind leg, okay. Can that increase flaps so that I don't have to pull back on my yoke all this time? Maintain 75 knots, reach 5,700 feet. Reach 6,000 feet. I need to climb a lot more. I'm very slow. $5,500, $5,600. Extend flaps by 10 degrees. Losing a lot of speed. Okay, let's taper off. Okay, gaining speed. Okay, leveling out. I'm gonna reduce the throttle a little bit just before we reach 80, so maintaining 80 knots. End the base leg. I'm gonna try and maintain my elevation this time. I was getting confused between the horizon level and the attitude level. So, gotta keep my eye on the attitude level. Maintain 75. Slow down a little bit. Wait, why is it below me? Oh, I see. We were just going in a circle. Okay, like an oval. I need to slow down then. I'd have to increase flaps because I am way too fast. Okay, I'm increasing flaps to 30 to slow down a lot more. And I will try and taper off.
500.
Trying to align myself here. Down the flaps a little bit. Okay. Brakes. Well, holy shit.
You did well, but you can do better.
Yeah. for
You're
sure.
on your way
I
to
didn't
becoming
know
one hell of a pilot.
you had to like go up and then go down as you turn. So it's like an ascent and then descent. Ooh. I thought I had to maintain my altitude this whole time. Okay, why don't I just... Oh, it costs money. There's money? What? Okay. Time to pass your private pilot's license. This is your ticket into the world of aviation. For this practical test, you will need to complete a standard traffic pattern. Follow the flight plan, apply what you learned in your training, fly safely, and you get your license. Traffic patterns are generally flown at an altitude of 1,000 feet AGL as opposed to MSL. What do those mean? Each section of the pattern is referred to as a leg. So takeoff, initial climb, downwind, base, final, landing. Kinda got it. Not sure what MSL and AGL means. Throttle is at 0, just so that we don't immediately launch when the game loads in. And I think after this, I will end my stream for today, and I will continue tomorrow, where we really start to learn more about the systems, and I'll try to see if I can get an optimal graphic settings for my setup as well.
Start by removing the covers and chocks, then join me inside.
Okay, let's remove these things. Shift C. Control E. I will learn how to do it properly, like the full startup sequence. Right now, I just need to learn about the basics.
Respecting the flight path and all required speeds. Rely on what you have learned in your trainings and you'll be fine. Now show me the best traffic pattern that you've got.
Okay. I will press enter to announce taxi.
Kilo Hotel Alpha Foxtrot traffic. Cessna November 8862 tree is taxiing to runway tree 0, Kilo Hotel Alpha Foxtrot traffic.
Runway 30. Can I even pass this? The fuck? That was scary. I should be following the yellow line. There are cones in the way. Okay, let's not blow this up at the beginning. I'm just gonna take it slow. Is there a speed limit during taxiing? I bet there is. Of course there will be. We are going at a leisurely pace. Okay. Just follow the blue lines. Okay. If I remember correctly, it's 55 knots for takeoff. Climb until I'm at 5,300 feet. Or 53 or 55. And my speed should be around 70, 75 knots. And then I should keep climbing until around 50. What was it, 6,000 feet? And then I immediately start descending once when I reach the landing legs of the flight plan. Okay, stop and hold short. Press enter to announce takeoff.
Taking off runway 30, left closed traffic, Kilo Hotel Alpha Foxtrot traffic.
Checking left and right. Maybe I can get my so I'm already using my iPad to do face tracking for my Vtube model. Maybe I can also get it to work with Microsoft head tracking IR, so that I don't have to use any buttons or use my mouse to turn the cameras around. Okay. Make sure my flaps are... Do I need to set my flaps? And full throttle. I think it said it generates more lift at lower speeds. So I think I do want flaps. Okay. I'm 55, slowly pulling back. Don't want to go too far. Climb to 550 feet. Okay. I want to keep going until I'm about 75 knots. Okay. Reach crosswind, climb to 1,000. I think I need to turn. Or do I just fly through the rings? Okay. Yeah, turn while I'm climbing. Level off. Yeah, I'm reaching 1,000 very soon. Okay, a little bit too far. Oh, I see my my flight plan on my top left. So I think I'm a bit too fast, and I'm a little bit too high. I'll keep my throttle and slowly descend just a little bit. Maybe less throttle. Announce position. Okay. Maintain
Kilo
altitude.
Hotel Alpha Foxtrot traffic. Cessna November 8862 tree. 1 mile southwest. 1,100 feet. Inbound to land runway 30. Kilo Hotel Alpha Foxtrot traffic.
think I want to decrease my throttle a little bit since we are now descending. Okay, let's level off just a little bit more. I'm going to increase my flaps because I'm gaining a lot of speed. Too fast. Reducing throttle. Increasing flaps. Okay. So that's how you slow down really quickly. Increase flaps, reduce throttle. Now I'm too slow. Kind of. Nope, I'm good. Announce landing. Announce landing. Okay, announce landing. Too
Kilo
fast.
Hotel Alpha Foxtrot traffic. Cessna November 8862
To
tree is
increase
on final.
flaps.
Runway tree 0. To land, Kilo Hotel Alpha Foxtrot traffic.
Maintain around 65. Throttle is around 50%. I think this is good, so I'm going to layer up at the end. Reduce throttle to idle. Layer up. Okay, that was a bit rough, but okay. Brake. Okay, I'm gonna turn off braking so that we can move on. Reduce flaps to 20 degrees. Are you supposed to turn on, like, reduce flaps when you're on the ground and just taxiing? Because you don't need the lift, right? And you also don't need the drag, because you can always brake. I'm a little bit too fast. And throttle to idle. Okay, I still have to go around. Want to avoid the cones. Let's speed up a little bit because we got half a mile to go. I want to go too fast. And just ease everything in. Avoid the cones. Turn that off. Okay, taking it slow, taking it slow. I want to mess it up at the end. Yeah, I think I turn it on the next yellow line. Throttle to complete 0. And then we move up here, brake. Brake. Control Shift E.
Great job. There's always room for improvement, right?
Yes. Respect the taxi path 14%. Oh shit. Well, B, that's still a passing grade. Okay. So, I got my first private pilot license. Let me move all my stuff back. Oh. I have a pretty large mouse pad. Okay. My mic. Okay, I can now fly a single engine plane in good weather conditions and perform takeoff and landings from land. Private pilots cannot fly aircraft for commercial purposes. I unlocked the Cessna 172 Skyhawk, the JMV VL3, and the Robin DR400/100 Cadet. Okay.
Your PPL allows you to fly recreationally and begin to build up your flight hours. First flight missions are a great way to increase your experience.
Okay.
Let's go back to headquarters and review the specializations. Board to learn more.
Specializations.
As you can see, the career journey of a pilot can take many different paths. As I said earlier, your PPL is the first step, allowing you to fly recreationally and perform first flight missions, taking people on tours around the local area. As you build up your flight hours and earn more certifications, other specializations will become available. Take a look around. Then when you're ready, head to the missions list to see what's available.
Ferry flight, flight seeing, cargo. Ooh, okay. Compatible aircraft. Rotor craft. Oh, helicopters. Okay. Back to headquarters. Missions.
On this map, you can see all the missions currently available to you. There's one mission currently available. Select it now.
Ride with a familiar face from the local club around downtown Millbrae. Okay, I don't want to actually start the mission. What the fuck is this? So you always want to do a left turn? Is that why it does this weird pattern? Yeah, so I don't want to do this right now. I think I'll end my stream. I've been streaming for combined maybe about 11 hours. So I'm going to end the stream, and tomorrow we're going to continue. I am going to continue working through every problem that I might encounter on stream. That includes learning about new terminologies, understanding basic flight concepts and piloting concepts, and let's see how much I can learn, basically, in the brief amount of time that I have. I haven't actually set a date for myself in terms of what I want to, like, the date by which I want to accomplish something. Right now, I want to see how much I can learn by just doing the career mode on its own. I will also try to supplement that by reading stuff online, maybe Wikipedia. And then once I feel confident enough that I can do most of the things by memory and by the knowledge that I accrued on my own, without relying on like Wikipedia every 2 minutes, then I think we can talk about the challenge. I will have to learn more about how planes work and how flight plans work in order to even come up with the challenge itself, right? I don't want to come up here and say, okay, maybe fly around the world in 80 days in a Cessna. Maybe that's not possible at all, given what the Cessna can do. Maybe it's too easy, even for a Cessna, because of what the plane can do. I don't know. So I'll learn more about the game, more about the planes, and then I'll try to come up with like a challenge. Something that will test me on endurance and knowledge of all the things that I've learned from the game. And something that we can use as a way to chill out and just talk about films or movies or stupid shit we saw online. Because this is flying after all. I don't think I'll be doing a lot of like crazy exhilarating missions. I think it would just be a way to chill out basically and create a relaxing environment. Okay, so I'll end my stream for today. I hope you all had a fun time watching. I will have to go and work on my Dishonored 2 stream because I actually played a little bit of GTA 5 at the end, and now I've got to split that live stream VOD up into 2. So I'm gonna have to do that. Alright, I'm gonna end my stream. It was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to streams doing this, because this is something that I've always kind of wanted to do, and being able to do it on a live stream is actually really it's a lot more fun than just me trying to do it on my own as a hobby. So yeah, looking forward to it. I hope all of you are looking forward to it as well. All of this will be available on the VOD. I don't think there's a risk of anything happening to the VODs, but if you want to join me and hang out with me on the live streams, I will be here. I basically stream every day, and my time zone is 9 a.m. Korean or Japanese or Korean Standard Time to about 7 or 8 p.m. Korean or Japanese Standard Time, so like East Asia time. I think it's very similar to Australia time too. So it's like, if you live in the Pacific zone, think of it like 8, 9, 10 a.m. and ending at around 7, 8, or 9 p.m. every day. If you're living in the United States, it's like just inverted by about 12 hours. So that's a weird ass time zone for American viewers. But yeah, you can always watch it on the VOD too. But I do want people to join me on the live stream, because I think that's where a lot of the fun is, in just hanging out in real time, chatting away, talking about nonsensical things while I try to fly a plane and not die. Okay, that's it for today. I'll see you all next time. And goodbye. Ending stream. Ending.